Next question is from at m.lubrano1219, who says, if Finn Balor was never injured, he would have been as much of a star as Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. We wouldn't need Cody Rhodes or Jey Uso. This is a big hot take out of the gates, and what I will say to this firstly is Cody Rhodes is a lot younger than Finn Balor is. I think it's like 5 or even a few more years than that, even younger.
Sounds right.
So I think they still might have needed Cody Rhodes. And I think Balor's even older than Seth and Roman a little bit too. I think he's a couple of years older. But let's take that out of the equation for a second. Let's talk about Balor himself, because if he didn't have that shoulder injury in 2016, where he did win that Universal Championship, Des, do you think he would have for the rest of his career been in that main event scene?
Yeah, I feel like that's fair. My only thing with this is you could throw anybody in there, right? I always say the thing about WWE is you can have as many stars as it is. The wheel's going to keep on turning. They're always going to bring in new stars. It doesn't matter who they have. If they didn't have Cody, they got Finn Balor. They don't have Finn Balor, they had Drew McIntyre. The wheel just keeps on turning. I will say this kind of fits in a way with like NXT, right? Because when Finn Balor went to NXT, fans loved the guy so much. So he kind of had a similar path to Cody Rhodes in a way. Well, sort of, right? New Japan, indie darling, goes to NXT, goes to main roster. It doesn't really do the best, right? Unfortunately, injuries happen. And the injury, it did derail him to the point where he hasn't really been in that main event scene, and then went back to NXT. To be completely honest with you, I just don't think Vince McMahon was very high on Finn Balor, right? A lot of it's physique. You know, he's not the big dude, not the guy that could be the face of the company. So even if Finn was healthy, I don't really think he would have been the face of that brand. Now, if this was during the Triple H era, I feel like it's definitely possible. I guess it really is unfortunate what's going on with Finn Balor, right? He's so underrated. He's such a great hand. You know, he's had great runs in NXT. It really is just a shame, right? You've seen a lot of wrestlers have it where they have a big injury. They're shelved for a long time. I really still feel like there's some time for Finn Balor to go. But to say we don't need Cody and Jey Uso, I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of that when fans do that, where they'll be like, oh, well, this guy would be better if this guy wasn't here, right? Because you're trying to elevate the other person, but you're also trying to put the other person down on a lower pedestal. And I feel like you're still, you know, you're not helping the cause with it. But to be honest, yeah, I think you definitely could have been, for sure.
And I completely agree with you as well, Des. Like you said, there's a lot of people you can say it for, but if Balor wasn't injured in 2016, I think he would have held that Universal title potentially. Well, I think he would have held it until probably Goldberg came back or something like that, or even maybe Lesnar would be the one to defeat him and then they'd get to Goldberg. So I think he would have had a 4 or 5 month frame with that championship, and then from there he would have been a significantly bigger star, right? Because when you hold a world title for that long, that does something to your stock, especially when you're that new on the main roster. So I'm going to be honest, I don't think he would have been Cody Rhodes. I don't think he would have been the face of this company. I don't think he would have been a WrestleMania main eventer, but I do think he would have been a multiple-time world champion. I think he'd be one of those babyfaces who throughout the year they'd give a short reign to take the title off of a heel, right? Somebody who doesn't hold it that often, and he's better on the chase, on the run, but he still, does become champion quite a few times because, yeah, he deserved a lot better, let's be real.
I agree.
DCX Warlord says Balor got robbed at Extreme Rules. A lot of people wanted him to win there.
I remember that match. Oh, that match. Oh, that was bad.
As we've learned over the past couple months, entrances mean something.
Yes.
And I think you can take an average wrestler who has an amazing entrance and elevate them to main event status. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry. So Finn Balor, like when he had the, like his NXT entrance, right? Doom, doom. You know what I mean? So that was so over. And if he didn't get hurt, him with the title, him coming out doing the Fiend stuff with the title, everything that made Finn Balor larger than life in NXT would have carried over to the WWE, and the fans would have gotten behind him just for his entrance because everyone loved doing it. When he brought it back out at NXT Homecoming the other time, the fans lost it. I had a friend that was at the show, and he was like, "You wouldn't believe how loud it was when Finn came out and did the old entrance." So I think Finn would have been a main event guy for probably 2016 through 2019. He would have been in the title picture. He would have been a main event guy. He would have been a prominent figure on WWE TV all the time if he did not get hurt. So I agree wholeheartedly with that. I think Cody Rhodes is another one that is a terrible wrestler who was horrible in
Oh my gosh.
He steals stuff from his brother. He steals stuff from his dad. He steals moves from everyone. But his entrance is fire, adrenaline, and muscle. Everyone knows it. Everybody loves to sing it.
You're not wrong. Well, you are wrong with the terrible wrestler part, but you're not wrong about everybody loving his entrance. And it was the same for Finn Balor as well. I mean, Podcast Grifter, and I agree with this comment, says, I love Finn Balor, even that dude Prince Devitt, but he will be treated as Shawn Michaels and not a John Cena. But even if he was treated as a Shawn Michaels, that would have been a huge upgrade. Huge upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
He's saying that like that's a bad thing.
Right? HBK's the GOAT, man.
People still do the Shawn Michaels pose.
Exactly. Biggs agrees, and so does Shard. And Fernando says, for some reason, WWE cooled off right after Finn getting injured after winning the Universal Championship. I mean, I don't know if I agree with that. I enjoyed the Jericho and Owens stuff a lot. I do feel like there was a silver lining, and that was Owens and Jericho to that. Yeah. But look, it sucks for Finn, that is for sure. And Christopher agrees as well. Roundhead says, my Irish Prince and DCX Warlord was in attendance for that match as well. Saying he wanted Finn Balor to go to AEW. I mean, now I don't think he would have been a main eventer, but if he left right at the start, maybe he could have been. But Angie says, kind of sad.
Would have gotten the Adam Cole treatment.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. If he came there now, he'd be an Adam Cole. But if he went there in 2019, 2020, I think he would have been a huge, huge star. Angie says, kind of sad that he's at the top of his momentum and suddenly Finn is injured. It was heartbreaking. It really, really was. Especially to now know that he was never going to get back to that level again. That was it.
It's such a shame, man. It really is.
Your peak is your second match on the main roster.
I know. I love this theme song, too. When I would work out in the gym, I love that song. Catch Your Breath. It was amazing.
Absolutely. I cannot disagree with that one at all.